Alright guys, welcome to episode 2 of My Ultimate Team. Now in today's episode, I'm going to cover SBCs, specifically the League and Nations hybrid. I'm going to go over the solutions, how you can get to the solution without spending as much as Futbin says. And then I'm going to talk about starter squads. Now initially I was going to open my rewards for division rivals as well, but the starter squads bit overrun a bit. So I'll go into a bit more detail in starter squads and then I'll leave the rewards for tomorrow. But if you do like anything that I do mention, the only thing that I ask for is that you like the video and you subscribe. If you don't watch the entire video, that's entirely fine. But if you can like the video and subscribe, they're the only two things I ask for. So let's get into the video. Alright, so SBCs. So this is the method that I've been using for at least a couple of years, but I'll share it with you. So what I would do is I'd go into this, but before I go any further, Sandro Tonelli, this one to watch card, it costs 7k to do. I definitely recommend doing it because even if he gets one inform, potentially two informs, his shooting will go over 70 and he'll have every stat over 70 with his pace being 82, 83, 84. So I definitely recommend doing that Sandro Tonelli. However, moving forward, let's use the League and Nation hybrid as an example. Now, there's only one squad that requires 11 players on full loyalty, and that is the first 11, which is in hybrid nations, I believe, where you need 11 players with the same nationality from a different league. And the only way to do it is to get them all on chem, and you need to do the chem glitch. But for these, although you might think from first sight, let me go into Puzzle Master as an example, you might think you need loyalty, because if you look at all these solutions, they all have 11 to 10 loyalty, but you don't. If you actually scroll down, there's a few. There's one with 4 here, there's one with 5 there, one with 4 there, and one with 4 there. So if you go into any one of these, now this was a similar solution to the one I used. Guerrero, there's certain players that you'll definitely need. Guerrero, Hazard, and I think the one I used had Vertonghen in there. Then what you see is you'll notice that this middle centre mid here, and this middle centre back rather, and the right centre back and the goalkeeper, they don't link to each other. So what that means is you can use any player that's in your club already. Just make sure they're of a similar rating. So I think what I used was I had Vertonghen, Hazard, and Guerrero, which I bought. I had a Mignolet in net. What you need to remember is you need one soft link somewhere, because you need exactly 7 leagues. So what you'll always need is a triangle of links there. Then you need one league there, one league there. That makes 3 leagues. And then there's 4, 5, 6, and 7. You need these 4 to be from separate leagues. But you need 2 soft links in there because you need to make the nation count as well, which is exactly 9. So there's various solutions. What you can do is, like I said, these 3 players. You can use any players that are in your club that will give you loyalty. So I think I actually used Mignolet here, who linked to my Vertonghen there. And then what I did was I had any centre-backs, right centre-back and right centre-back, right centre-back and centre-back from any league, it doesn't matter. Then the middle 3, I actually used Ramsey, I used Kadira, and I used Morata. So no position change is required. You can also use someone like... there's a few 82 rated centre mids in La Liga, so you can use a La Liga pair there, in the 3 there, creating hot, so same league, different nations, and then there you can go with like a Premier League partner, or you can do a Serie A partnering, but those 2 need to be the same as well. But that's how you do these sort of SBCs, using the solutions on this website, but you don't have to pay that much. There will be certain solutions, and I'll see if I can find it now. Now I can't actually find the squad that I'm looking for, but there was a solution that existed in one of these SBCs where it had an entire squad, and then it had the centre 3, so the goalkeeper, the 2 centre backs, were all the same nation, from the same league, but from different clubs, and they were all bronze players. But the person had used Canadian players from, I think it was the MLS, and I don't know why he did that, because if you actually look at the price of the squad, it was around 20k, and it was the cheapest at the time. But every player in the team cost around less than a k, maybe around a k. And then there's two of the centre backs, they both cost 6k each. And what he'd obviously done is he'd made accounts and he'd voted them up so they were the top. And he'd actually price fixed rather, those 2 centre backs. But in essence, I copied the entire squad besides the 3 at the back. And the 3 at the back, I just went into, I think it was the Irish League. Got 3 Irish players that strong link to each other from different clubs, and they all cost 200 coins each. But that's the sort of thing you want to look out for. You often see a squad which will be out of position, and there'll be a player in there who costs like 6k, But a lot of the times you'll be able to replace that player with someone else. I think there was another squad which required a Nigerian striker. It had Victor Moses at right wing, and the Nigerian striker he used was from the Chinese Super League, and he was going for $3,000. But you could have quite easily subbed him out and used, I think it's a Nigerian striker from La Liga. He goes for like 1k, and it will save you money. But those are other things to look out for. But that's all I had to say about SBCs. So now we're going to take some time and talk about starter squads. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Bundesliga starter squad. So let's go through the formation quickly. So I'm just going to be 4-4-2, but I'll talk about positions and stuff as I go through the video. So when it comes to goalkeeper, honestly, you can pick any goalkeeper. You want to aim for someone that's got height. He's 6'4" Hradecki and good reflexes and diving as well. But you could quite easily go for Galaxy as well. I think they're both around 3k. Hradecki is probably much less, maybe below 2k, and Galaxy is probably around 5k, maybe less. And when it comes to centre backs, Boateng is someone that I would highly recommend for a starter squad. He's only 2k, which is a bargain. The other one I've got is Kanate, who was extinct at 10k, but he's now going for around 8k. So they're two that you could have. Now, other options, more expensive option is Lucas Hernandez. I believe he's going for around 20k. Piszczek is going for around 2 or 3k. So those two are good alternatives. There's also the likes of Alaba, but there you're talking about elite and endgame teams. Not endgame, but elite teams without talking about like informs and icons. But they're the defence. Now left back. Left back's a tricky one because essentially there's only two good options, Schultz and Roussillon. And I believe they're both above 10k. Schultz might be near 20k and Roussillon is around 15, I think it is. So I've gone with Gunter, who's got 84 pace. I think he goes for less than 2k. I may be wrong, but he's a good option, solid option. Right back's really tricky. Mukiele is probably the best mid-tier option, but again, he's around 6 or 7k. Mbabu is probably the best option, but he's around 20k. So I've gone with Lena, who's got 80 pace. He's well-rounded. He's got physical. He's got defending, dribbling as well. Or his work rates high, so good work rates. And I think he's below 2k. So they're the back five. Now the rest of the team, I'm going to go with the winger first. Now I've gone with Bellarabi, who's really cheap at the moment. He's around 3k. He's actually a good investment because beyond Bellarabi, the only other two right mid options are Sancho, who's around 40k, and Gnabry, who's around the same. So Bellarabi is kind of the only other position you can have. Then left mid, there's a lot of options. I've put Diaby there, but you could quite easily have Kostic. And then after Kostic, it gets more expensive with the likes of Leroy Sané and Kingsley Coleman. But there are a few other options, just have a look. Then let's talk about the centre mids and the striker. But we'll talk about the striker first. Now strikers are limited. I've actually gone with two pacey strikers here, but you've got Huang He-chan, who's less than a K, and Embolo, who's around between 1 and 2k. Now beyond that, you're talking Lewandowski, Haaland, who are all over 100k. There's very few other options. So instead what I'd do is I'd go with a one striker formation with potentially 3 centre midfielders. So, either a CDM and 2 centre mids, or a cam, or any variant, but 3 midfielders in the middle. And the reason I say that is this Delaney is a rock solid card. He's really cheap actually. He's less than 5k, I think it is. Same with this Sabitzer. He's very well rounded. I'd actually wait for this Sabitzer because go ahead and buy this Sabitzer. He does have a special card, but it's a objective card. The storyline, if you can get him into your team, then he's perfect. But they're very well rounded cards. They're quick as well. But other ones, Delaney, solid CDM, big CDM. He's got low high work rates. He will win a lot of things in the air from goal kicks. And then if you're thinking about cams, these two are really good. Mateus Cunha and Nkunku. They're pretty quick. They're not the fastest. I don't think there's many faster options in the Bundesliga. But I definitely recommend them two to play cam. And you could even use them to play wide cam. But I'd only go with one striker and pick one that suits you. There are other options obviously, but they all have less than 80 pace. But that's the Bundesliga. It's a good option, very good defensively. Midfielders are very good, but attacking options are limited. But that's the Bundesliga. Now from there, we're going to move on to... We'll go to Serie A. Again, I've gone with 4-4-2, but I'll talk about positions and stuff. So, goalkeeper, I've gone with Strakosha rather, because he's really tall, 6'4", 88 reflexes, 86 diving. Again, you could go with any other ones below, but I'd recommend him. Right back is limited options. You've got Bruno Perez. You've got the likes of, I think it was the Italian fella. His name escapes me, but Bruno Perez is the quick one. There are other options. Quadrado's another one, but Quadrado's over 20k, I believe. Bruno Perez is between, I want to say 5 to 10k on PlayStation. This is. So he's the option I go with at right back. Two centre backs. There's quite a few options you can go with. There's Romagnoli, who I think is less than 10k, and there's Ankulu, who's less than 3k. Both of them are quick. Both of them solid defenders. Then the more expensive option is Manolas. I've got him untradeable here, but he goes for, I believe it is around, let's have a quick look. I think it's 20k. Yeah, there's one there for 20k. So he's around 20k, probably a bit less. And then Morello's another option. There's quite a few quick centre-back options in this area. So you've got a lot of options. Comes to left back's tricky. There's Theo Hernandez, who's 20 to 30k, I think it is. And there's Alexandro, who's probably around the same. So I go with Mojica. He's only 75, but he's got 90 pace. He's got a bit of a crap defending attribute at 69, but you've put a Sentinel on him. He's also high-low. But he'll do, you know. Now, I've put Mojica there, but I left mid, I've gone with Laxalt. And the reason I've done that is I think Laxalt does have, yes, high defensive work rates, and his defending is 65, so he could help in the defence. He's actually pretty quick as well at 87. Other left wing option is Javinho. Really quick, really nippy, good dribbling. Both of these are below 2k, I think it is. Then right mid, limited options, there's Lozano, but currently I do believe he's got a team of the week, so he's out of packs, and even then I think he's going to go for over 30k potentially. So I've gone with Lazari. He's a cheap option. There's also Politano you can go for. Both of them around 3k, maybe less. And then strikers, I've actually gone with an inform striker here, Caputo, because he's an inform. He's a discard inform. I think he can get it for 12k. But he's got 86 finishing. His composure isn't the greatest, but jumping 87, heading accuracy 82, 84, acceleration 86, sprint speed. So I'd recommend him. And I've also gone with Osimhen, who's around 3 to 5k. Again, another solid striker. I think he's got 4-star on him as well. No, 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. But again, he's a good option. Other one is Ante Rebic. He's a good option. Believe it is Ante Rebic. It is. He's got 4-star skill moves, and he also has 4-star weak foot. Another good option. He's really quick as well. Then midfielders, there's a lot of midfield options. This Vidal, he's actually less than 10k, which is quite ridiculous. He's got 83 defending, 86 physical, and he's high. I might actually invest in him because he's a very good option. Rabiot, another good option. Again, similar price. Brozovic, if you want the box-to-box option, similar price. And then if you're thinking about having a Camp Bernardeschi, is a good spot. He's obviously the more attacking option. He's got 5-star skill moves, I believe. Yes, he does. They've downgraded his pace, but his shooting's decent, passing's good, dribbling's really good. So that's what I'd recommend in this area. It's a budget team. I reckon it would come in below 30k, maybe 50k, definitely below 50k, around 30k. And there's upgrade options available. But that's Serie A. Now from there, we're going to move from Serie A onto La Liga. Now, La Liga is tricky, especially when it comes to striker. I'll talk about that in a minute. Goalkeeper, there's not many great options. Obviously, there's Courtois, there's Ter Stegen, and there's Oblak. But they're elite goalkeeping options. Beyond that, they're all run-of-the-mill, really. The best one I could think of was Aitor, because he is 6 foot, but he's got good reflexes and diving. But again, you can go with any goalkeeper, Sergio Asensio, any of them, really. Centre-backs, there's a lot of options. Varane, obviously, being the best of the bunch. Eder Militao, again, another one. And also Sergio Ramos, so on and so forth. A few are extinct, a few are 30k, 40k, but budget options, Gabriel Paulista, he's a good option. I believe he's around 3k, probably less. And Dejeni, 72 pace, 80 physical, 84 defending, another good option, less than 2k. And the bench, I have put this Jimenez. He's got 67 pace, but he does have 86 defending, so he will be really handy. And I think he's less than 4k as well, so again, a good investment option there, but a good centre-back option nonetheless. And at right-back, again, limited options. I've gone with Kappa, but there are... Jesus Navas is a good one, but he's over 10k. I think his might even be over 15k. But I've gone with Kappa. There's a few others that you can go with. Just, I don't think any of them are better than the others. They're all around the same, with Jesus Navas probably being an elite option. Carvajal was the one. And then at left back, I have gone with Yuri Belchiche. Then you can also go with Junior Firpo. They're both around the same price. Belchiche is slower, but he's got better defending than Junior Firpo. They're both actually the same pace, 83, but Firpo's a bit taller as well, I think. But they're the defensive options. Then when it comes to wide players, I've gone with Goncalo Guedes at left mid. There are other options, but they're limited because when you go higher than Goncalo Guedes, it becomes more expensive and more. Some of them are even extinct. But if I have a quick look, if I just do this to La Liga, and I change this to, let's start with left wing, and I do search, there's money. There's not very many quick options. I should have really done the club. Hope the filter stays. Come on. No, can't be doing with this. There we go. So let's just quickly have a look at left wingers. There's obviously Hazard. There's Dembele. I actually used him, but he's around 70k. Asensio, they're all slow though. Vinicius Jr., he's expensive. Ansu Fati, 25k. Cordoba's an option. And then if I go to left mid quickly, and there's Carrasco, I believe he's 30k, maybe a bit more. And then Lamar's a good option, but I've gone with Guedes because he's the quickest. But that's my left mid option. There's also Makis, who used to be a striker last year. Right mid, I've gone with Correa. You can also go with Rodrigo, he's a good option. Then strikers, there's limited options because they become expensive. But I've gone with Gamero, who's a quick one, and João Felix. But I wouldn't recommend João Felix because I've got him. But I believe he's going for around 25k. I think he's overpriced. What I'd do is I'd go for one striker, possibly Gamero, and play quite a lot of central midfielders. Because there's Kondogbia, who's a good CDM. Herrera, well-rounded centre mid. There's Odegaard, a great cam. Saul Niguez and Koke, both of them are really good, well-rounded centre mids. And they're both really cheap. I think they're both less than 5k. And there's also the likes of Isco and so on and so forth to play cam. So I would definitely go with more midfielders there and maybe a one-striker formation. But that is La Liga. And now finally, we're going to move on to Premier League, which is what a lot of people are going to be running. It is the squad that I am also running. Now, the squad I've got isn't probably a starter squad because, well, I'll talk about it now. Goalkeeper, I've gone with Kasper Schmeichel. There are other options. Dubravka's a good one, really tall. At right back, I've gone with Ricardo Pereira. I packed him, he is expensive. There are other options. Kyle Walker is obviously an elite option, but if we have a quick look at club, we limit it to Premier League. We go to right back, turn concept players on. So Trent's obviously the best. Walker, Pereira. And then Cancelo's a good one. I believe he is less than 10k. Aurier's a good one. Bellerin again. Nelson Semedo. He's going to be expensive though. Wan-Bissaka as well. I think they're all over 20k. But if you go lower, then there's Reece James. He's a good option. But there's quite a few. You can go with Fredericks if you want the speed. He'll probably be below 2k. At left back, I've gone with Reguilon. He's around 12k. Probably go even lower. I think the best left back will be either Robertson or Alex Telles. But his Telles Man United card isn't yet out. In terms of other options, I'm not sure how many options there are. Let me have a quick look. I just do left back here. There's Digne. Again, he's really slow though. There's Chilwell. He's getting an inform this week. Emerson's a good option. Mendy. What else is there? Tierney. He's really quick. But other than that, Simicast and Van Aanholt, the same as the usual. But they're the back four. Now, I packed this Rashford untradeable, and he's going for 150k. So obviously, if I was to take him out of the squad, at left wing, who would I be playing? Let's have a quick look. If I flip this to left wing, what options are there? Pulisic is a good one. I think he's around 12k. Diego Jota is a good one. He's probably around the same. Trezeguet, good option. Balassi, Podence, Barnes, Jota. They're all good options. Grealish is going to get an inform as well. But they're not the quickest, which is the only issue. I just don't really want to go with silver players either. So then if we go with left midfielders, we'll see what options we have. Obviously, Heung-min Son. Bergwijn, he's really expensive. Zaha's going to be expensive. So same with Felipe Axel. Anderson, St. Maximin's over 40k. Redmond, Bernard, I guess they're good options. But I'd probably go with someone like Trossard or Damari Gray. I just really like pace. Or Genepo again. Then right wing, I've got Willian. He does the job. Mahrez is a good option, but again, he's 30 or 40k. There's various other options available. Let's have a quick. Pepe's another one. I think he's around 12k. He might actually be my next upgrade. And then you see at cam, I've got Almiron, but again, that's because I'm playing him out wide left and I'm playing Rashford up front. But there's a lot of striker options. Ollie Watkins is one. Let me just have a quick look. So you have Jimenez, a good option. Jesus, probably expensive though. Rodrigo, he's extinct at 10k. Richarlison, he's over 30k. Michael Antonio is a good option. Calvert-Lewin, again, another good option. He's probably going to get a player of the month as well. If that's good pricing, I'd definitely do it. And then there's Origi, but yeah, I'd use probably Ollie Watkins is a good option. Then midfielders, now Bakayoko is the one I'd 100% recommend. He's really cheap, less than 2k, but as a CDM, he cleans everything up. He wins everything in the air, goal kicks, he's unparalleled. Then two centre midfielders. Now I'm playing them two at CDM, him and Rodri. Rodri, he's a good at defending, he's well-rounded. Good box-to-box, but I do play him CDM. You can get cheaper options that do the same job. And I've got Dele Alli, I really like him going forward. He's good attacking, 80 shooting. I think he's got 4-star as well. 4-star, 3-star. But I play him at cam. There are plenty of other options in the Premier League when it comes to midfielders. I'll just have a quick look. So if you go with CDM first, there's Henderson's expensive, Torreira, Freddie's extinct, but he's a good option. Sukic, I'd go with him. Ndidi, really expensive. But yeah, there's quite a few well-rounded players really. Winks, another one. Declan Rice, shooting isn't the greatest though. Then if I change this to centre mid, Wijnaldum's probably the one you want, but he's like extinct. Allen's really expensive, but there's quite a few options. But that is a Premier League. It's probably going to be the most used league. But in terms of what upgrades I'm going to make next, I think I'm going to get a better cam, a better right winger, and maybe a centre back, because I will have around 160k to play with. But that's the Premier League, and that starter squad's done. And that's it, folks, for today's episode. Now, I did pack someone big from the packs that I get from those SBCs, so I'm going to let it play in the background. But yeah, I'll see if I can get an episode out over the next couple of days. It'll have some Division Rivals stuff in it, possibly the rewards, some squad battles. Maybe I'm going to try and get as many games done as possible in both of those. But I do have 15k points, which I'm going to open on Friday when Want to Watches are in pack, so I'll definitely be streaming them. I'll maybe make a video on that as well. Well, that's it for today. If you like the video, be sure to leave a comment. Most importantly, like the video, share the video, and please do subscribe. It appreciates me. It means the world to me. I'm trying to get at least 1,000 subscribers, which is slowly growing up. But until the next one, peace.